All right, good morning, everyone. My name is Justin Reifert. I'm a VP of Agent Success here at Premier Marketing. I'm happy to introduce a new hospital indemnity product today with Cigna called the Senior Choice. We've got Jim Codney here joining us. He is going to introduce the product, talk to you a little bit about what it offers and some of the other ancillary products that go along with it from their supplemental benefits side. Jim, go on ahead and take it away.
Thanks, Justin. Hi, everyone. As Justin said, my name is Jim Codney. I'm a regional vice president here at Cigna. And yeah, so my plan is today to talk about our hospital indemnity. We just launched this product on August 1st on paper, and we'll be launching it September 3rd on our new e-app that's coming. So really excited about that. Cigna also offers other ancillary products besides this hospital indemnity. We offer a lump sum cancer, heart attack, and stroke product. We offer an accident treatment product, and we also offer final expense, some other ancillaries on top of the great med sup we offer. But today we're really going to spend time, hopefully, 25, 35 minutes on hospital indemnity. So we'll get started. This product, as most of you may or may not know, is built really as a add-on to, Medicare Advantage plan. So this will be added with a Medicare Advantage sale to kind of cover those maximum out-of-pocket exposure gaps that are in a Medicare Advantage should your client be confined in a hospital. So we've got this product, it's set up, our hospital indemnity is set up to be very simple. I've been an agent out in the field and I've sold everything from property and casualty, life and health, and annuities, variable annuities. And when I was an agent, I really liked a bunch of options. But even if I was sitting in front of a client selling, let's say, a variable annuity, trying to do the best job I could, usually when I got to the end and asked them to make an educated decision on their retirement, they looked at me and said, what should I buy? So one of the things about this, our hospital indemnity, is it's actually simple. You as an insurance professional can sit down with your client, or if you sell over the phone, talk to them about this over the phone, and it should be simple enough where your clients can make their own educated decision on their health care coverage. So I really love that about this. As you see, it helps with things like deductibles, co-pays, out-of-pocket maximums, things like that that are normally associated with health care that our clients would be on now. Now, we've got this product available in almost every state in the country. You see there's about 6 states not approved. For those of you in Idaho and Utah, we're working on it. So if you sell in those 2 states, we are trying to get the products in there. Just have a few little tweaks we've got to do on some verbiage, I believe. And then your other states like California, New York, Connecticut, New Hampshire. To be honest, folks, I'm not sure exactly when those will come or if they will come. New York probably will not happen. So just to give you an idea on that. Now, let's talk about the product. I'm only going to highlight a few things on this page because we'll get into most of this information here as we go through it. But the product is available for ages 50 to 85. And it's guaranteed renewable for life, which, is great because as long as your client pays their premiums, the policy can never be canceled by us. And it is also got some really good riders that we will talk about here in just a few minutes with this coverage. So let's kind of get into why people are interested, et cetera. I'm not going to read all this, but really, in a nutshell, it's people that have exposures, right? No matter what kind of healthcare plan they're on, but specifically a Medicare Advantage, our clients have financial exposures that they're responsible for should they be admitted into a hospital. For instance, on a Medicare Advantage, they've typically got anywhere up to $6,700, $7,200 maximum out-of-pocket exposure. And folks, I don't care who you are. I know some people that have a lot of money that don't have 6,000 or 7,000 in the bank earmarked just to pay for a hospital visit. So keep that in mind. It also helps with Medicare supplement, copays, deductibles, things like that. So it's not just for Medicare Advantage clients. However, Medicare Advantage clients are the majority of people we see buy a hospital indemnity. Now, we've got, as I said, a very simple plan, and I don't know why simple at some point in our industry got a negative connotation, but again, as somebody who tries to be a professional, I really like the simplicity of this product. That way I could do a good job, sit down and explain it to a client, and again, they could make their own educated choice based on the information that I gave them on their healthcare coverage. So here's how it works. As you see on the top of your screen, you've got Choice Plan 1. So if your client wants Plan 1, there's actually only two choices they need to make. Do they want a 6 or 10-day confinement benefit? And once they choose that, how much confinement benefit on a daily basis do they want? And we offer anywhere from $100 up to $450 a day in $25 increments. Now, if the client wants a little more coverage, they could choose Plan 2. Those first two choices are exactly the same, the confinement days, 6 or 10, and the hospital confinement daily benefit. But we've added, as you see on the bottom of your screen, the observation room benefit, as well as skilled nursing facility, both at $100 a day. So driving that home, right? Simple, simple, simple. Even if you've never sold one of these before, never heard, couldn't spell hospital indemnity, I think you look at this, you study this for a little bit, and this is going to be super simple for you to sell. And then our final plan is Choice Plan 3. Now, this offers one more choice for your clients, and it's the admission benefit. So your client would choose either $250, $500, or $750, and then the 6 or 10-day option and the confinement benefit. And as you see, we've also added ambulance transportation and ER treatment to this plan. So it's obviously our most robust plan. If you add everything and max this out, it's also going to be our most expensive plan, but it covers the most, so that makes sense. Now, as I said earlier, we have a few different riders available on this policy. We've got the accident fixed indemnity rider, lump sum cancer with reoccurrence, lump sum heart attack and stroke with restoration rider, and the specified disease rider. So again, they get through, pick one of those plans, their confinement benefit, and their how many days, 6 or 10. And this is really their only other choices. Do they want any of these riders? Now, the accident fixed indemnity rider is pretty straightforward, but as you see on the bottom left of your screen, it covers things like AD&D up to $75,000, right? If your client dislocates a hip, they could get $2,500. It covers a wide range of things like fractures, dislocations, even emergency dental work, x-rays, doctor visits, ambulance rides, a bunch of stuff. So it's a really nice additional benefit that they can choose that will cover it if they're injured in a covered accident. Now, the lump sum cancer with reoccurrence rider is one I really, really like. So it covers any internal cancer, including carcinoma in situ, at 100% of the selected benefit. Now, for those of you who don't do cancer insurance very much, carcinoma in situ is localized cancer. It's not spreading at the time, which is, really a good cancer diagnosis. Now, the reason we highlight that we cover that at 100% of the benefits selected is because a lot of policies out there, a lot of our competitors limit their cancer coverage for carcinoma in situ at 25% of the selected benefit. So imagine this, if you will. Your client buys the cancer rider from you with your hospital indemnity, right? Let's say they have a $10,000 policy. 2 or 3 years later, they go in and get diagnosed with cancer. As long as it's internal cancer, you and they can be, rest assured that they're going to get that full $10,000 benefit that they selected and had been paying for years. With a lot of other cancer policies out there, in that same scenario, if it was carcinoma in situ, they would only get a benefit of $2,500. That's pretty powerful. I've talked to agents that have actually gone through claims with that, and they said, one lady specifically said it was the hardest thing she's ever had to do in her career. She said it was harder than dealing with a death claim, because with death claims, you know what's going to be paid out. But her client had forgot the exclusion or the limitation for carcinoma in situ on a cancer policy. And I've got to say, she said they were devastated when they were notified that they were only going to get 25%. Now, we also include the recurrence benefit in this rider. And as you see on the right side of your screen, this is how it works. Let's say your client gets diagnosed with internal cancer. We pay out the benefit, the full benefit, right? Doesn't matter what it is, internal cancer, full benefit. Well, if your client is clear of diagnoses and treatment for 2 years, that benefit's going to build up to 25% again. After 5 years, 75% again. And after 10 years, 100% of the benefit. Now, I've had some agents ask when I do this presentation, why would you include a reoccurrence rider? Why would, in some cases, if it's an optional rider, why would I add this? And I've got two simple answers. First of all, especially dealing with seniors, as they get older, their rate slope goes up. So if you're saying to a 65 or 70-year-old, don't worry, if you got cancer, we'll just wait 5 years and you can buy another one. This is what happens. In 5 years, the rate's going to be considerably more expensive because of that rate slope as they get older. Now, most of our seniors are living on a fixed income, and at that point, they may or may not be able to afford cancer insurance. So we did them a disservice if we suggest that. But more importantly, folks, the reason why I would say is because cancer does not wait for our timelines. If somebody's had cancer once, they're statistically much more likely to get cancer again than somebody who's never been diagnosed with cancer in the first place. So how could you look a client in the eyes and tell them to take that gamble, right? Why not just say, hey, this has a reoccurrence benefit in it, so as long as you're 2 years clear, you're going to have 25% of your benefit built back up. And they can choose anywhere from $5,000 all the way up to $50,000 in lump sum coverage. We don't pay the doctor or the hospital, we pay that to the client or their beneficiary. So it's a really nice product for them. Heart attack and stroke works very similarly. It covers heart attack and heart transplant at 100% at first diagnosis or occurrence. Now, with stroke, your client does have to have paralysis for more than 30 days to have the stroke benefit. Keep that in mind. But the awesome thing about this is we'll actually accelerate a portion of the benefit should your client need a preventative procedure. So again, let's take the scenario. Your client in that $5,000 to $50,000 range picks a $10,000 heart attack and stroke plan rider with this. And they go see their cardiologist, and the cardiologist says, hey, Jim, you need to go in and get coronary artery bypass surgery. Well, your client's actually going to be able to accelerate $2,500 or 25% of that selected $10,000 benefit to cover copays and deductibles on whatever insurance are on now. As you see, it even includes things like 10% if they need to get a stent. Now, keep in mind a couple things. We'll only accelerate once in the client's lifetime, and the maximum benefit amount is 100%. And what I mean by that is if we pay out 25% for a coronary artery bypass surgery, and then God forbid your client has a heart attack later, there's 75% of the benefit left over for them to receive. Now, this also includes a restoration rider. The restoration rider on the heart attack and stroke benefit works pretty much exactly the same as it does on the cancer. As you see, 24 months clear of diagnoses and treatment, 25%, 5 years, 75%, and more than 10 years, 100% of the benefit is built back up. Now, let's get to our specified disease rider. I really like this rider. It covers some really nice things, and your clients can get it anywhere from, again, $5,000 all the way up to $50,000 in lump sum coverage. And if they get diagnosed, with ALS, go in a coma, have end-stage renal failure, paralysis, need a major organ transplant, get diagnosed with MS, or have severe burns, they're going to get paid out. And again, we pay that right to the client, right? We don't care what they spend it on. They could go buy a big screen TV or a new car with it. But what it's really built to do is help them offset some of that financial exposure, God forbid, if any of this ever happens to them. But again, we pay it directly to the insured or their beneficiary, so we don't check up, we don't pay it to the doctor. They can pay it for, they can use it for whatever they like. I'm going to show you in a couple minutes, but one thing I really like about this rider is how affordable it is. I can promise you, if I was still out there selling, this rider would be strongly suggested on every policy for hospital indemnity I sold with Cigna. Now, when I was out in the field, I thought underwriting was short for sales prevention unit of, and then, insert company here, right? Sometimes underwriting's, there's 53 questions with 18 sub-questions, and you have to play a doctor, you have to have a medical degree sometimes to get through that underwriting. As you can see right now, if you're doing just the hospital indemnity, there's 6 questions, and they really cover things like ADLs, if they're in a nursing home, do they or have they ever had AIDS or HIV, right? 6 questions, simple. If you add the accident rider, no additional underwriting needed. If you add the lump sum cancer, 1 question with a 5-year look back. If you add the heart, again, 1 question with a 5-year look back. And if you add the critical illness rider, it's 3 questions, but as you see, it's a 5-year look back for things like kidney disease or transplant, stuff like that. So even if you loaded your client up with everything available on this policy, you're looking at a max of 11 questions for underwriting. And I don't know many agents who love phone interviews, but as long as those riders that you add are under $50,000, you don't have to do a phone verification or a phone interview. You either have your client sign it right now when you're doing the paper app, or if you're doing an e-app, when that comes out September 3rd, you just type phone sale in the signature selection, and we issue the policy. So it's really easy. It's an agent-friendly and client-friendly product for that. Now I want to get into illustrating rates. And what I really want you to see here is we've got rates for almost any budget that your client may have. So if you see the first column under Senior Choice Plan 1, kind of on the left side of the middle of your screen right now, in this scenario, the client chose over the max, right? They chose a 6-day benefit with a $200 daily confinement benefit. Now, this client is 65 years old, and for them, it'll cost $19 a month. So 65-year-old, 6-day benefit at $200 a day, it's only $19 a month. As you can imagine, if that confinement per day was down to 100, it'd even be a decent amount less, because as you see right next to that, Senior Choice Plan 2 at the very, very basic, the 100 per day, 6 days, it's only $16 a month. And then we get all the way to Senior Choice Plan 3 on the right of your screen. This one, they've kind of beefed it up a little bit. They've got the $750 admin benefit. They've upped the daily to $250, and still it's only $62 a month for that 65-year-old. So again, many different premium options for many different budgets, right? Now, this just illustrates the rider cost, so I'm going to just take the any of them, but I'll talk about Plan 1. So let's say you have that client, 65-year-old, 6 days confinement, $200 a day. It's $19 a month, and they want to add all the riders, the accident rider, and then all the other riders at a $5,000 benefit. As you see, the accident rider for a 65-year-old is $1,650. The $5,000 cancer with recurrence is $1,730. The $5,000 heart attack and stroke with restoration is $1,845. And then really look at that bottom row. As I said, that specified disease rider is so affordable, folks. At a $5,000 benefit for a 65-year-old, it's only $1.61 a month. Why wouldn't you be really strongly suggesting that to a client? You know, end-stage renal, ALS, MS, coma, severe burns, etc., all covered by that. And again, it's a lump sum payment paid to the insured. Now, here's a couple other, just we're packaging some plans with riders just to give you some examples of rates if you did that. I'm not going to go through them word by word because I assume everybody on here can read since you're insurance professionals. But what we're doing is just illustrating some of the different options and finding ways to fit in different budgets. So both of these are Plan 1s, and you see one we've got the indemnity rider added, and one we've got the cancer and the specified disease rider, and they're within about $3 or $2.50 a month of each other, depending on what's important to your client. Now on this screen, we've got a Choice Plan 2 and a Choice Plan 3. And again, Choice Plan 2, really simple and still affordable even with the $5,000 cancer benefit. And if you look at that Choice Plan 3, still not bad, right? Under $50 a month for a Choice Plan 3 with a 6-day confinement, $250 hospital admission, $100 hospital confinement, and then adding the cancer at $5,000 and the specified disease at $5,000. So again, just illustrating how affordable that is, how much we can work with just about any budget. And as I talked about earlier, you know, this just adds a layer of protection, right? We've got our client, and you go out and you do a good job and you sell them, in this scenario, Medicare Advantage. And then you're going to, in that presentation, you're going to explain the maximum out-of-pocket exposure that they have. And then once they buy that, then here's the opportunities to start filling that, what could be $6,700, $7,200 in some areas gap if they ever have to be hospitalized, right, for an affordable premium. And again, with Medicare Supplement, it works similar. But keep in mind, especially if you're selling a high deductible med supp, it's got a similar exposure. It's not exactly the same financially, but if you talk to your client and they're buying a high deductible F, for example, they're going to have that big outlay of cash required should they be hospitalized. And this is a great way to layer another insurance policy to help offset what, for some of our clients, could be financial peril if they ever had to be hospitalized. So that's what we're trying to illustrate here. I've got some other just kind of real type of life scenarios. You know, here's, we called him Tom. He lives in Tennessee, and he bought a $48 a month Plan 3. And I'm if you want to read, feel free, but I just want to skip down. He would get up to $1,650 for what we show on the screen, and that really, really helps offset his MA, his Medicare Advantage maximum out of pocket. And we do a few of these scenarios. I think they're nice, but hopefully you guys get the point on how that works and really what the benefit could be for your customers and clients. We've really talked about how to make it work. I'm not going to beat this home. I really think, you can get a plan for almost any budget. And if your client can't afford this, maybe they've got other issues, right? Maybe we oversold them somewhere else, or maybe their budget is just so tight, all they can afford is either that low to no cost MA plan or whatever you sold them. And that's okay too. But for most of our clients, Cigna is going to have a policy that can fit any budget. Now, just to kind of get, as we getting close to wrapping up, keep looking. We offer 6 to 10 confinement benefit periods, 6 to 10 days, 50 to 85. I think our rates are pretty competitive. We've got a competitive commission. Our underwriting is simplified, and keep in mind, no telephone interview as long as the benefits are under $50,000 on those riders, and we do not charge a policy fee, right? A lot of carriers out there charge $20, $30. We don't charge a policy fee. This is just an idea of what our brochure looks like. It's a full color, nice brochure. They're available to order now on Agent View, which is our agent website. So and as well as all of our material is available to order now. So feel free, and we'll be happy to send that to you. Now, as I get to the end, I always like to end on a even more positive note than a brand new good product. And we've got a couple of different incentives out right now. First of all, if you're selling hospital indemnity with us, this month and who knows in the future, we reserve the right to cancel it at any time, but it may go next month. But basically, you hit these thresholds, you're going to get that premium. So you sell 3 apps for us this month. Not only are you going to get your commission, but we're also going to pay you an extra $150 an app. Make it 5 apps. I'm sorry, not an app, a total $150. Make it 5 apps, we'll pay you $250. All the way up, you max it out, you rock out, you sell 50 apps in a month, we're going to give you an additional $2,500. Now, keep in mind, this is a monthly promotion, and we reserve the right to cancel it at any time. I know it's going in August. It may go in September or beyond, but I know for sure it's going in August. And the good news is, it's still, early in August. If you're out there and you've got clients out there, it wouldn't be that hard to pick up the phone and do 3 to 5 apps and add an extra $150, $250 in your pocket before the end of the month. And then we have done some other really neat stuff. So for those of you who have been looking at our material, we're actually doing our agent trip to Monaco next summer. We're super, super, super excited about that. And starting July 1st, we actually increased the credit we give for ancillary and final expense sales, including the hospital indemnity we just talked about, from 3 times credit to 5 times credit. So what that means to you is if you've never sold a policy for us before, so you have 0 on the books starting today, and you start selling, really you and a guest would be invited to Monaco with $50,000 in ancillary net premium between now and the end of February next year. Our qualifying goes through February, so you've actually got more time than you would with most companies, and it's only $50,000 net. Now, in interest of full disclosure, you also obviously have to be in good standing with us. But we did this because we really, really, really love our ancillary products, and we also want our agents to join us on our trip. We throw a great trip. We're going to go to Monaco here next year in early June. As you see, here's a picture of the bay, and we're really looking forward to it. So, look at us. Please, hopefully you got some good information from this. And any of our products, if you have any questions, Premier is, they're my favorite group. They're our best group. Please work with your marketer, Justin, and his team over there, and either order some apps, get contracted, and with that, I appreciate it. And I'll throw it back to you, Justin.
Sure. Thanks, Jim. Appreciate it. A lot of great information in here today. Folks, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us here at Premier, to your marketer directly. We'll be able to assist you with this. And I did get a couple questions along the way that I answered. Yes, we can get you PDFs of the information about the product itself that came out today. Plus, we did do a live recording of this. If anybody has any questions, we can go back to this meeting here today and refer to it. So appreciate everyone's time. Jim, thank you, sir. I appreciate your time, and we look forward to growing this product with you guys.
Well, thank you, Justin, and thanks to everybody on the call today. I really appreciate it, and I hope you have a great day. Take care.
Yep. Bye.